Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to vermontitude.com, reformer.com, brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Flat Street. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Joining Vermontitude today from Groundworks Collaborative, Libby Bennett and Andrew Courtney, and today we're talking about load the latches, but bigger issues too. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Andrew's coming off of a tough shift, so we should just warn everybody. He's had to pull an overnight emergency shift, so we thank you for that. Though.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing on August 17th. Now, this was something that I hatched many moons ago.
2011?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I think so.
Really, 12 years?
What year was Hurricane Irene?
I think you're right.
That was the year.
I think you're right, 2011. And we did it at this time of the year because people are hungry in August too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But more specifically, speak to the things where some of the downfalls happen, why this time of the year is the most important time of the year for something like this.
Well, I think there are some times of the year like the holiday season, November, December, anything from Thanksgiving on, where there's a lot of focus on hunger and people don't want to see people going without during the holidays.
Right.
Really, people shop our food shelf all year round. People can come in every 2 weeks to get supplemental groceries. And so there's no time of year when the need isn't there.
Right.
But this time of year, I would say there are, kids are still out of school. And although there are, summer meal programs, and they've done a really great job trying to make sure that school meals, there's continuity there throughout the summer. I think still it's not the same level of convenience as you're already going to be at school that day.
Right. I think in the summer months you've got this where the food is very accessible. It's just not as easy to get to because there's no built-in transportation that will take you to and from to the school for learning and for at least 2 meals a day. So it's critical. Andrew, we had a chance to talk a little bit before we started to record about how things sort of slow down in the food chain this time of the year. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. There's, I think, a national trend for food banks that we've heard from our partnership with the Vermont Food Bank that this early to midsummer does tend to be a time where they see a lower amount of donated food product, and that affects what we have access to. So again, that just points to the importance of the timing of this load the latches drive, that it really helps meet a need that the food needs are very consistent across the year, and we do have a lot of support both through the food bank and from community partners towards the end of the year, holiday time, but kind of bridging this summer to fall and winter is really important because, like you said, people are hungry in August too.
Yeah, it is. We know that the problem doesn't seem to be going away. I know for all the years, for the 20 years or plus that I've been involved, whether it was the Drop-In Center or Groundworks Collaborative or Morningside Emergency Shelter, we keep talking about like how is it 2 decades later we're still having this conversation? We're still talking about a growing problem. Why? Libby, you're on. Answer.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Well, I think, here we are in Brattleboro, but I think that if we zoom out and look at the country overall, we're looking at a number of broken systems, truly, where, we haven't put the investment in to make sure that everybody has enough. And, until that happens, we will continue to see more people in need. And And, it's a really rough time. I think, we had a lot of abundance in terms of federal funding coming into the state during the COVID pandemic that has almost entirely dialed back at this point.
Right.
Everything from people's SNAP benefits have gone back to pre-pandemic levels. Programs like Everyone Eats that we had to support people during the pandemic are gone. And so we have more people coming to see us every month. I mean, would you say that that's still true?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, according to Hunger Free Vermont, 2 in 5 Vermonters will experience food insecurity or hunger within the last year. And that's up from up to 40% from 20% before the pandemic. So, the decline of these resources to address food insecurity does not match with the pattern that we're seeing across the state.
Yeah, so if I were going to make a bold statement, like I don't understand how we can figure it out and just go, yeah, that's really working. Now let's just unplug it.
Right.
How does that happen? I mean, that's a really big question, and probably nobody sitting around here. We can guess, we can voice our frustrations, and something that's not as common as it used to be, and that's common sense, and infuse some of that in there. But let's talk specifically about for a moment for the day that will be Load the Latchis. Now, me personally, I will be set up there on the Flat Street side of the Latchis Theater. I will be there at 6 a.m. I will stay till 6 p.m. Right?
Thank you, Peter.
Old school. You're welcome. And I'm looking to collect donations. And the metric we used, which was something that you and I had discussed many years ago, was for every $20 donated. All right. So can maybe we kick this to Andrew. For every $20 donated, what does that mean for a family?
Well, we can really make $20 go a long way, both through our partnership with the Vermont Food Bank and also our food rescue program. We rescue food from the Brattleboro Food Co-op, Hannaford, Aldi, Market 32, Shaw's. So that's all product that we're bringing in at no cost. And then we have access to a lot of low cost and no cost food through the Vermont Food Bank. So the monetary donations, we can really do a lot more with $20 than what an individual could do walking into a grocery store and purchasing with that same $20. So yeah, we can really leverage our relationships in our community, relationships with the Vermont Food Bank, and also the staff that we have. We have a staff of 3 full-time employees and 2 AmeriCorps members that are always on their toes and running around Brattleboro and surrounding communities to bring food in to get out to people who need it.
So thank you for mentioning the food rescuing thing, because I can remember from my time on the Groundworks Collaborative Board, that wasn't an option. No, we can't. It's got to go in the garbage. But we're like, it's still good food. It's not even expired yet. So that is some progress. That is awesome. How long has that been around?
Well, I think about when you were on the drop-in center board, our food shelf was in a room this size.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just dry goods on shelves.
Yeah.
And you could come in one person and shop. There wasn't room for more than one person to shop at a time.
Right.
And we didn't have vegetables. And we didn't have dairy or eggs. So the ability, then we moved it into the garage, which was a little bit more space, but still really tight.
Right.
And being able to be in our own little bodega space on Canal Street there has just meant a lot.
Thank you for using the word bodega.
Oh, you are very welcome.
Yeah, all right.
So we have a lot more space. We have a lot more ability. And over the years, we've been able to grow, get a grant to buy a cooler, freezers, et cetera, so that we can provide fresh food and we can do this fresh rescue. Andrew said Shaw's, that's in Wilmington. We're going as far as Wilmington to rescue perfectly good food before it can go to waste.
And it is awesome. It is one of those things that I've always said, like, I don't understand this. Like, there are laws saying that we have to put this food out, like we have to throw this out to 2 to 3 days before it expires, and they're just heaving it. So that's huge progress, because I'm sure that stuff flies right off the shelf and gets used right away. Yeah,
Absolutely. And we'll stock it. I say we. The team will stock it that morning. It'll be gone that afternoon, and what's left at at the end of the day after a shop. And I should say they've just opened for 5 days a week, 3 hours a day of shopping. So we have a lot more shopping hours and opportunity since reopening in June.
So, Andrew, are you? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Are you seeing? And I know the answer to this question, but are you seeing an increased traffic?
Yeah, we are. We're seeing it in a few different ways. We're seeing an increase in new households coming to FoodWorks. Every day, we're having 5 to 10 new households show up, which there's two sides to that. One, it does signify an increase in need. I like to remind our team and volunteers that it's also a sign that we're creating a welcoming and positive environment for people to come shop. When we ask new people, how did you hear about it? Almost always they let us know that a friend or family member told them, like, hey, you should go there. It's a nice place that people treat you well and they have good food available. And so we see it through new shoppers. We also are seeing an increase in what we call emergency visits. So as Libby mentioned, we generally have households on a schedule to come shop about every 2 weeks for a supplemental supply of groceries. We really communicate with everyone who comes in. If we have a shopper who's in a unique living situation, maybe they're experiencing homelessness or camping or living in a hotel and they don't have a tremendous amount of food storage, we'll modify their shopping schedule. So if someone is camping, then they're just taking a little bit of time, enough for a day or two. So we are seeing an increase in those emergency visits where we have someone on a modified shopping schedule due to their unique living circumstances at any given time.
All I'm hearing is that you're using common sense in a bad situation. So good for you. I mean, seriously, I joke around about it a lot, but it is amazing how sometimes we get caught into these ruts and we don't pivot from it. So good for you for kind of recognizing that need. So again, August 17th, you can donate now if you'd like by going to loadthelatchis.com. Now that's a new thing this year, right?
Fancy. We're really fancy now.
Yeah. You can donate $20. You can donate $20,000.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
We would love that.
That would make that lady very happy. So we encourage you to do that. I know I will be seeing both of you throughout the day that day. So you're welcome to come by. We'll be broadcasting live the entire day. Anything like that you guys want to say that just to help kind of close this out?
I mean, we talked a little bit about, we can do a lot with $20. We can do a lot with $100. We can also, this is a good time of year if people have garden produce, you've got a ton of extra tomatoes, you've got kale coming out your ears, bring it down and we'll put it right on the shelf at FoodWorks that day.
So that is another thing, because I know that when we started these drives, we always saw bring your non-perishable food items. So, but not anymore, Andrew, right? I mean, this is stuff that goes first, good fresh food.
Absolutely. The demand for food is really a wide range, and that fresh stuff is really valued, and it's meaningful for our shoppers to know that they're able to access something that a neighbor grew and is really grown with love, and that those are all donations are appreciated, but there's something special about that aspect of our community and a willingness to share food in that way with others.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I know there are gleaning programs that people can sign up for to help pick vegetables that will otherwise just kind of compost that can be donated to you. There's all kinds of programs that you can get involved in. This is just another way if you can't make it out that day. Again, go to loadthelatchis.com. You can make an online contribution that day. It's all we're hoping to raise $7,500 or more that day. So, and hopefully that goes a long way. I mean, we know it won't last forever, but you know what? We'll do it again.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, thanks for jumping on the program.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
All right.